The CMA recommends a second phase of investigation for the Microsoft Activision Blizzard acquisition, and Phil Spencer responds. All right, guys, before we get into this, I have 4 months to hit my goal of 10,000 subscribers. I see a lot of you are new to this channel. If you are, please consider hitting that subscribe button if you enjoy this video. So it's September 1st. Today was the big day where the CMA had to come to a decision whether they wanted to continue their investigation, move to the second phase, or accept the deal, pass it through, and then we would be waiting on the other regulatory authorities to make their decisions. The CMA has decided that they do want some more information on the Activision Blizzard acquisition. Now, they say here that this merger may be expected to result in a substantial lessening of competition within a market or markets in the United Kingdom. And as a result of this, it is expected that they are going to want a more in-depth investigation for part 2 and try to get more information from Microsoft in order to answer their concerns. Now, apparently they gathered thousands of internal documents and data from both parties, so Activision, Blizzard, and Microsoft, to understand the business, and they concluded that the completion of the merger could affect the competition in 2 ways. They say here the deal could see Microsoft withholding or degrading Activision Blizzard's content from other consoles or subscription services, and that Microsoft could leverage its broader ecosystem together with Activision's catalog to raise barriers to entry and foreclose rivals in cloud gaming services. They also highlight that Microsoft is going to own Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, Candy Crush, and that this could potentially result in harming consumers by impairing Sony's, Microsoft's closest gaming rival, ability to compete. And I find this part absolutely hilarious. I find it very interesting how a lot of these regulatory authorities now are really focused on how Sony is going to be affected by these deals that are going through. When you take a look at what Sony has been doing for years and years and the deals that they have been making to hurt the consumer by keeping content exclusive to their specific box, keeping third-party games exclusive to their specific box. But now, because this is such a huge deal, $70 billion, the scrutiny is on these types of practices, which really, in my opinion, shows that all of these regulators do not follow the gaming industry whatsoever. They really don't know anything about it, but they are looking into this now because they have to, because it is such a big deal. In fact, we got this tweet here from Tom Moore, and he says, "I've read through the CMA's decision on Microsoft's Activision deal. It's written like they want to protect Sony's #1 position in gaming while also claiming there isn't much competition to Call of Duty. Millions of people still play CSGO every day, and Apex Legends is huge." And I mean, that is just a complete fact. I mean, there's so many other first-person shooters out there with large consumer bases, and Call of Duty isn't the only thing that is going to affect Sony. I mean, they're still going to be able to get other people playing other first-person shooters on their platform. The biggest thing here, though, is we know Call of Duty is their #1 moneymaker. So it really does sound like they're trying to protect that when they say things like this. In fact, they also mention here again about them collecting more information. They say the CMA gathered substantial evidence from Microsoft, ABK, and third parties to assess the significance of ABK's gaming profile. I'm guessing Sony was one of those third parties that they collected information from, and from what we saw from the Brazilian authorities and the information they collected, I'm sure Sony did everything they could, provided as many numbers as possible to really make this look like the deal is going to really hurt them and the gaming industry as a whole. Continues here saying the evidence consistently pointed towards ABK's content, especially Call of Duty, as being important and capable of making a material difference to the success of rivals gaming platforms. And again, that has to be Sony, because we already saw the other third parties and the stuff they said with the Brazilian authority that they were okay with this deal going through, and it was only PlayStation and Sony that had an issue. Now, all of this being said, this is normal. This is a $70 billion deal. I think people were really hoping, had their fingers crossed, including myself, that they would just understand the gaming industry more, know what has been going on over the years, and see the difference in the ecosystems and the fact that Microsoft and Xbox, they give games to as many people as possible. Microsoft is a much better workplace for the Activision Blizzard employees, and that those types of things would just push this deal through without a second investigation, without a second phase. But that is obviously not the case. but it's normal because of how big the deal is. So I think there was a very high likelihood that this was going to happen, and it is happening. And Phil Spencer responded in a blog post this morning. So let's go through what he said. Game developers around the world are creating innovative and groundbreaking games. We think that we can do more to bring those experiences to the billions of players everywhere. And we know that Microsoft has been doing that. That is their goal. And one of the biggest things about this acquisition was the mobile division with King, as well as all the other mobile games that are coming over, Diablo Immortal, Call of Duty Mobile. I mean, those are huge games that are going to be available on people's phones right away, whether that's going to be they put them into Xbox Game Pass or downloading them through your Google Play Store or the App Store on Apple. All that type of stuff is really going to bolster the mobile market for Xbox, but still giving these games out to as many people as possible. Our announcement in January that we intend to acquire Activision Blizzard was an important milestone in our journey to do so. Since then, regulators, game developers, and players have been asking what the acquisition means for the industry and most importantly, for the players. While we love consoles, we recognize that they are not only the way that people play games. Today, the largest and fastest growing segment of gaming is mobile platforms. Again, here focusing on the mobile division, which is seemingly a theme over the last couple of weeks for across the industry. We saw Sony purchase Savage Gaming, which is going to be a developer that works directly in the PlayStation mobile division, and they develop mobile games. I think currently right now they're working on a first-person shooter mobile game or an action mobile game that's going to be a PlayStation Studios game. To reach the billions of players where they are no matter what device they play on, we need to embrace choice. Again, something huge that Xbox, yes, they're purchasing Activision Blizzard, which means it's going to be an Xbox Game Studios division, but they do embrace choice with everything they've done this generation with the ecosystem, with cloud gaming, with Xbox Game Pass. And you look at the Sony side of things, and they do not embrace choice. They are trying to lock you into their console. But you can also see on the other side of things, they are seeing that isn't the way to win anymore. And they're slowly starting to transition to more of the Xbox ecosystem model. The news here saying giving players choice in how they play their games makes gaming more accessible and leads to larger, more vibrant communities of players. Choice is equally important to developers. Developers benefit from having a diversity of distribution and business models for their games. Choice unlocks opportunities for innovation and enables the industry to grow. And I'm sure developers, when they see the ability to be able to put their games into Game Pass and reach millions of subscribers instantly, they love to see that. The more people they get to play their games, the better. And I've always said this. I mean, you can ask these first-party developers, you can ask Sony's first-party developers, and if they had the ability, they had the choice to put their games in front of way more people than just the PlayStation audience, I'm sure that they would rather that than to be locked to a finite amount of players. Continue saying we are expanding choice in two ways: through the creation of Game Pass, which gives players a subscription option by bringing more games to mobile platforms, including through our cloud game streaming technology. Subscription services like Game Pass make gaming more affordable and help players from all over the world find their next favorite game. Game Pass empowers developers to bring more games to more players, not fewer. We intend to make Activision Blizzard's much-loved library of games, including Overwatch, Diablo, and Call of Duty, available in Game Pass, and to grow those gaming communities. Now, it's great that he says this, not something that is surprising. Everybody expected this. You see people debating this and saying, hey, I told you they were going to do this, or hey, I was wrong. I thought they weren't going to do it. In my opinion, it was obvious day one, since they announced this acquisition, that all of these games are coming into Xbox Game Pass. I don't know why people were debating that. I mean, look what they're doing with Bethesda. Those games are all in Game Pass. They're going to continue to come to Game Pass. Why would you make this $70 billion acquisition if you were going to hold games off of Game Pass like a game like Call of Duty? So great to see that they're doing that. And that hopefully once the deal passes, we're going to be getting the brand new Call of Duty right away into the service. By delivering even more value to players, we hope to continue growing Game Pass, extending its appeal to mobile phones and connected devices. So there's really focus on mobile phones here, but also just extending Game Pass to as many people as possible. Moving on here, it says bringing more games to mobile platforms, however, requires new capabilities. The expertise that the teams at Activision Blizzard bring in developing games for mobile platforms will help us understand how to create and engage players around the world. I mean, this is pretty telling that mobile was one of the biggest factors as to why they wanted to purchase Activision Blizzard. In addition, we hope that players will be eager to play traditional console games from Activision Blizzard on other platforms via our cloud game streaming technology. And they're really banking on cloud gaming being the technology that expands out to as many people as possible. And it's that technology that these regulators can look at and say, yes, they are going to own Activision Blizzard, but they are going to try to get these games on multiple devices. And they could even say, hey, if PlayStation would allow xCloud onto their service, we would put our games onto PlayStation. If they would allow Game Pass, we would put their games on to PlayStation. We aren't trying to hold back this service from anywhere. It's just some companies out there don't want it on there because it's our competition. This promises to open up mobile gaming, creating new distribution opportunities for game developers outside of mobile app stores, while delivering compelling and immersive experience for players by using the power of the cloud. And again, this is something that's really huge, and I think this is very strategic when they say this. Outside of mobile app stores, we saw everything that went on with the Epic versus Apple and Fortnite and the App Store on iOS, how it's a monopoly in the sense that they didn't want people in Fortnite spending money within the Fortnite app. They had to do it all through the actual Apple App Store. And this is pretty much saying we are going to move away from that. We are going to make sure that these games are available outside of app stores, so people have the choice of where they want to play, how they want to play, where they want to spend their money, and all that type of stuff. And they also mentioned here that you can extend the joy of playing to devices that people already own, like smart TVs. We know what's coming out with the Samsung Smart TV app, and then laptops, which, I mean, you just access cloud gaming through the browser. In doing so, we will pursue a principled path. We've heard that this deal might take franchises like Call of Duty away from the places where people currently play them. That's why, as we've said before, we are committed to making the same version of Call of Duty available on PlayStation on the same day the game launches elsewhere. And again, this is not something that hasn't already been said. Phil Spencer tweeted this out a while ago, made it clear Call of Duty is staying on PlayStation. It's just crazy that we have this entire gaming industry. PlayStation has been at the top, has been near the top or whatever for a very long time. They have made so many anti-consumer deals with exclusivity in games only being on PlayStation for a certain amount of time. We're seeing them do it with Hogwarts Legacy with an exclusive quest. But everyone is so focused and always needing to, I guess, appease, making sure that games are still available on PlayStation when PlayStation isn't doing the same type of thing. But again, they mentioned it here, and it makes sense to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. They make so much money off of that Xbox would be losing out on a lot of money if they were to take it off the platform. Continues here saying, we will continue to enable people to play with each other across platforms and across devices. Again, something that PlayStation was against when Xbox really wanted to do this. We saw the documents come out. PlayStation didn't want anything to do with crossplay, but now we're here having to convince these regulators that PlayStation is going to be okay. We know players benefit from this approach because we've done it with Minecraft, which continues to be available on multiple platforms and has expanded to even more since Mojang joined Microsoft in 2014. As we extend our gaming storefront across new devices and platforms, we will make sure that we do so in a manner that protects the ability of developers to choose how they distribute their games. Something that's great. I mean, I think that's a good thing, even if it means continuing to put games on other platforms, putting games onto PlayStation. Developers want their games out to as many people as possible, and giving them that opportunity is a reason why I think more developers will straight towards Microsoft and straight towards putting their games into Xbox Game Pass. We will continue to engage with regulators with the spirit of transparency and openness as they review this acquisition. We respect and welcome the hard questions that are being asked. The gaming industry today is robust and dynamic. Industry leaders, including Tencent and Sony, continue to expand their deep, extensive libraries of games as well as other entertainment brands and franchises. Very true. I mean, they both just increased their stake in From Software as well, which are enjoyed by players everywhere. We believe that a thorough review will show that the combination of Microsoft and Activision Blizzard will benefit the industry and the players. For all the players and game developers out there, you remain at the center of everything we do, and we will continue to listen to your feedback and to do everything we can to nurture this industry we all love. So there you have it. There's Phil Spencer's response, pretty much just saying, hey, listen, we are still going to have a company, we're still going to have a strategy that gives access to as many people as possible to these games. And once this deal goes through, you won't have to worry about any of that. One thing that is very apparent is the people reviewing this type of stuff, I believe, just don't know anything about the video game industry, haven't followed it, but they have to look into it because Sony is really pushing back against it. They are really trying to do everything they can to try to show that this deal is going to hurt the video game industry. Now, this second review by the CMA, it's not surprising. I don't think it's going to affect the deal going through or not. It's just going to make it be longer until it officially passes and until it is officially approved and until these games get over to us on Xbox Game Pass. That's it for me, guys. Let me know your thoughts on the CMA going for a second review, and what do you think about Phil Spencer's response to this? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you're new here and you liked what you saw, consider hitting that subscribe button. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for your support, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.